Hey groupies, welcome back to Form of Therapy here on the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. And today we are checking out BBUSYEO by ONEUS. BBUSYEO is the first digital single from ONEUS. This is right after, well, not right after, but this is after their most recent comeback, To Be or Not to Be, which was a dark, gothic type of music video. And this one, well, looks like it's going to be even darker. But of course, before we get into this video, let's talk about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is brought to you by My Clothing. What? That's right, My Clothing, because we have brand new merch. Guys, if you enjoy what we do on this channel and you have always wanted a way to represent your love and passion for what we do here, consider joining Team Therapy. Team Therapy is our brand new, it's more than just a design. It's our sort of new mantra. It's our new community that we are creating, because a lot of people come here for the reactions and they don't necessarily care about me or our channel's message or what we're working towards. And that's fine. But if you do care, I kind of wanted to, I guess, find a way for those like-minded individuals to show and share and rep their pride. And I thought, hey, what better way than to make clothing? But also we have crew necks, t-shirts, dad hats, but we also have premium hoodies. That's right. Besides our normal hoodies, we also have Champion branded hoodies. We have a collab with Champion, and that means you are going to get the softest hoodies possible. If you don't know, I love Champion so much, and so I'm very excited. But if you can't, if the Champion hoodie is too much, we have affordable standard hoodie options as well. But, of course, supporting us monetarily, picking up a piece of merch is completely optional. If you don't want to or you can't afford it, we understand. But if you can, would greatly appreciate if you picked up one of our pieces of merch. Thank you very much, guys. Let's get into this video. This is BBUSYEO by ONEUS. By the way, BBUSYEO actually means to break or like crush. BBUSYEO. So that's what that means. But BBUSYEO by ONEUS, and this is your form of therapy. Oh, this is way too quiet. Hold on. Whoa. I mean, this is the most different thing I've ever seen from ONEUS. Oh. I'll go back to they tricked me. I'll go back. I'll talk about it. Oh! His vocals every time. Okay, here's what we need to go back and I need to talk about real quick. It's right here. Okay, if the Korean subtitles weren't there, I would have been thrown off. So it looks like he's in a restroom, right? And see how he's like on his legs and like, so this whole time Raven's been trying to get into the bathroom, right? And he's grabbing onto his butt and he gets into the bathroom, toilet's broken. So he says, "또 웃었다." Now, in Korean, when he says, "또 웃었다," that means, "Oh, I laughed again." But what that sounded like when he said it the first time is "똥 쌌다," which in Korean means I took a shit. I took a shit. But it's a clever like play on of words where he says "또 웃었다," but in the video, because he's been having to go to the bathroom the whole time, it sounds like he said, "Oh, I took a shit." It's one of those weird, playful, fun videos, you know. Like one of the main hooks of the lyrics is "아이고 배야," which is "Oh my stomach, my stomach hurts." Why? Because it's just a chaotic haptic music video. Now, I'm gonna it's gonna be very different sort of a review because in terms of video, not gonna really talk about it much. It's a colorful, fun music video, but nothing about it stood out to me. Nothing about it was necessarily interesting where I want to rant and rave about it. In terms of the song as well, I like it. You know, it's the type of song where it's fun. But I'm not going to be downloading this. I'm not going to be downloading it because this isn't really my style of music, okay? But I do like it. It's fun. I'm not going to turn it off if it comes on, right? But it's very different for ONEUS. In fact, this is completely against ONEUS's type. Now, moments like this is when you worry about a group. It's like, oh shit, is the group selling out? Are they completely changing their image? Is their company forcing them to do something that goes against their image? But fear not. I actually have this is going to definitely put the culture in culture study because I actually have an analysis of this that I think is one, genius about them and the strategy that they're utilizing. And I think two, maybe more K-pop companies and more idols can actually implement. So a lot of K-pop idols kind of swap genres in and out, swap styles in and out. ONEUS is a group that their title tracks, I would say, are vastly different indeed. You know, you go from Valkyrie, Twilight to Lit to Be or Not to Be. Like it's very all vastly different, but they do have a similar level of like, ooh, it's very epic. You know, it's very epic. And also like something like BBUSYEO, I don't think it's like necessarily title track worthy for an album, especially given how much ONEUS puts out epic music. But what is BBUSYEO? It's a single, right? And I think, oh, this is actually a perfect way to market a group. First of all, having a comeback album after album is actually really expensive. Producing an album is really expensive. And so, you know, sometimes we think about some groups that haven't had a full EP comeback in 8 months or a year, 2 years. Some groups have had like 3 singles in a row. And we, say to the company, oh, like, why aren't you giving them an album? And it's because preparing an album is really expensive. Now, if you want to only maybe say put out 2 EPs, 2 albums a year, I think that's fine. But there is a lot of a big gap in between, right? So why not in between put a single. And some groups have started doing that, right? Using singles as a way to kind of pad time. But if you want your group to experiment, why not put it in the single, and then you could have like these big grand comebacks? You know, I think the case that I want to point to is BAP. BAP was known for their dark, heavy, gritty music. Then they came out with Feel So Good, which was a fun pop song. And then That's My Jam as well. And mind you, I love those songs. I love Feel So Good. I thought that was actually really great. But I saw at the time that there were a handful of BAP fans who were like, oh, like, what is this? You know, it's like, and some people like track like BAP's downfall at that, you know, like a song like Feel So Good was so different from their sound, it divided their audience, or at least sectioned off some of their audience. So instead of like doing wildly, vastly different, crazy different sound changes for your group for each title track comeback, you know, if you want to do something silly and fun like this, reserve it for the single. And so I think this is actually a good marketing strategy for a lot of K-pop idols going forward, because if you don't have the money to prep for an album, have them experiment with the single, and it still keeps them relevant, keeps them in people's minds, in the public eye, and then they can come back in a few months with a full-blown album, you know, and then like the typical epic crazy title track, you know. I think that's actually a great way to do it, you know. Like I said, I think the song is definitely not my taste. I'm not very into sounds that, like how this chord goes, that kind of like horn driven chorus, you know, like yeah, not really my type of song, but it's still fun. It's still fun. I think it's still well produced. But it is a high budget music video too. It's actually really well produced. I wouldn't say it's on the same budget as their title track music videos. It's definitely maybe like only like 60% of that budget, but still really well shot and well produced. But that's it. That's my reaction review. Sorry, it's not super in-depth about the music video or super in-depth about the song, but I don't think there's a lot of depth for the song or music video for me. But I found a lot of appreciation from what this means in terms of marketing. Like, To Be or Not to Be was a few months ago, and they're probably not going to have another comeback for several months. And so something like Busha keeps ONEUS on people's radars, keeps them memorable, and I think that was a really good move on their part. And you know, just because I'm not fully into the song doesn't mean that it doesn't work or keep their fans satiated, because that's the most important part. Anyways, that's my reaction and review of Busha by ONEUS. Question is, what did you guys think? Would love to know in the comments down below. Of course, remember, if you want to support us, please consider picking up one of our merch pieces. Link is in the description down below. But if you can't pick up our merch, consider joining our Patreon. It's a cheaper way to support us. You also get live stage variety show reality reactions. You know, we have a ton of ONEUS reactions on our Patreon as well, so consider getting that. However, if you don't want to support us monetarily, that's completely fine. You know, a free way to support us is to go ahead and hit the like button down below, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts. Go ahead and subscribe. You know, 55% of the people who watch our channel are not subscribed to us. So hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. And go ahead and hit the end cards over here. Check out all our other videos. I'll see you guys later. Peace.